Hey, that is a boppin' tune. I
Yeah,
totally dig
yeah,
that song.
it's
My,
good.
I am OmniDog, and this is OmniDog's Book Club, and my co-host is the fabulous Larry from Larry's Library. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. How's it going?
Good, good. You have a 3-day weekend?
I do.
And what happened yesterday? A cookout Kristen wasn't invited to?
Well, not really a cookout. I mean, I cook outside, but yeah, I'm kind of like you. I don't like to go outside, so I do it in the morning before it gets hot,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then we just eat on the food for a few days. So,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I did.
Oh, we have my buddy from Wales. Yeah, man, I'm wearing it today. I brought it.
Yep.
That's Stanley. And of course, the Unstoppable Bar is here. Hello, Bar. Sazmurf, good to see you.
Hey,
Chris Brogan, nice. He's got the variants avatar. I dig it. Co-producer, hey, we were perfectly on time, James, my producer of the
yep.
show.
I think we hit it.
I see the little hourglass there. So we were on time. And let's see. Cycle's in here and he's having a conversation with people. I could have really used this double stream yesterday. Oh, well, sorry, you got it now. And I'm sorry you had to go through a whole service in Latin. That's some serious Catholicism.
He had an ordeal.
I don't have any Novocaine. I do have gabapentin, which is helping keep me in a good mood. Larry giving me a nice compliment. I'll take it. Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
Yes. After book club has a hard out today, 45 minutes, because then Jester's Toy Box is at 4:00 with the unlikable Omar and STD toys. So we're going to be unboxing toys. You'll recognize my toys. You probably won't recognize their toys unless you're, well, you might recognize their toys if you're like fans of Goku and whoever else goes along with Vegeta and Goku. And okay, that's enough. I don't even know.
Sounds like some manga stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like anime stuff. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I think they're all anime stuff. Axel's here. Hello. Here's Kenny. What up?
Awesome.
Aiku, yeah. Aiku and my friend Tony from Sweden have been on me about Days of Sand for, I'm not kidding, probably a year.
I'm glad. I'm glad though. So
Yeah.
preview.
You're right. Spoiler alert. Yep. You're our official Israeli correspondent. I know the marathon. Oh, because of the Novocaine. Is it safe? Is it safe? Okay. Got it. I get it. Now I get it. I picked it up. Sorry, I forgot. No, Stanley, I forgot about solo leveling until you just told me about it. I apologize. That's on my iPad. I need to read that. That's something that Stanley and Tyler Blunt say is an amazing comic. This is a good question. We'll talk about Days of Sand in a second. But Larry, I think that maybe we should think of a book that people might already own so they don't have to go out and spend money. Now,
Right.
it was a good deal for $23. This thing is a beautiful book.
Yeah. Really good quality on the binding and the everything.
Yeah.
Paper quality is excellent.
Right? It's super thick.
Yeah, it is.
Gorgeous.
And mine survived Amazon with no packing whatsoever.
Yeah, same. I think I must be near a hub because I get them quickly with no packing, but I don't think they go very far.
I'm thinking mine's the same because we have it's not really a warehouse. I guess it's a hub. I don't know, but it's new to this area, and I think that must be helping.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. It's not safe, by the way. No, here's the thing, Cycle. I don't think everybody has Keeping 2. I'd like it if people suggested after we talk about Days of Sand, we'll talk about the next book, and maybe I
Okay.
know maybe more mainstream. It could be an indie mainstream book that a lot of people have, something like that. Smoke 'em digs the paper quality. Good to see you, Smoke 'em. Why can't Marvel and DC use that paper? I don't know.
I have the same question. I don't understand. I
And
don't
it's
understand that. I mean, you would think with the scale of printing that Marvel has, they could do even better for less. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, and that brings up Dark Horse, because Dark
Yeah.
Horse and anything you get from Dark Horse that's like a library size edition is not only inexpensive like this book, but it's giant with great paper quality and
Yeah,
great.
and I think most of the DC stuff is done at a Canadian printer, and it's pretty good, you know. But all the Marvel stuff is either China or Turkey. At least for the Omnis.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't
Aiku
get it.
has a fun fact, and you know how to say the creator's
I
name.
think I do.
Okay, it's a woman.
She is a woman, and I think it's Ame de Jong.
Ame de Jong.
Now that's after listening to an interviewer say the name of. I watched a clip about 10 times, and I think that's it. I don't know.
You're my ambassador to the Netherlands.
Oh man.
Fun fact: the creator of Days of Sand is Dutch, but the original was in French due to that graphic novel market being way bigger. So the Dutch version isn't the original. I got Days of Sand as Hagen van Zand. Does that count of having it right? Yeah. Hagen das van Zand. What? There is a paper shortage. Where was the book printed? Because it's cheaper, from Joachim.
Well,
Larry is clearly a man of culture. Where was it printed? Do we know?
Yeah, 1 second. Trying to do this without getting my reading glasses. China. But there's probably a whole lot of different printers in China, right? Probably some really high quality ones, and probably some that are not so high quality.
Well, and maybe it depends on what the publisher asks for.
Yeah.
This book, maybe the author asked for specific things, and they were able to get it done for a really good price. I don't know. It's a good question. Yes, Axel, I have a lot of Dutch and Swedish people that are very loyal to this channel, and I appreciate them. But yeah, Larry's pronunciation was great.
Oh, thank you.
Saying that Dutch name nice. Hagendas Van Zant, a highly underrated member of the East Street Band.
That's what I thought of when I saw that. I thought of that, actually.
I listened to him all the time on his garage, underground garage on Sirius XM. Whenever I'm in my car, I always listen to Little Steven's Underground Garage. That's right, Max. We said Dutch.
Yeah.
Got some Hollanders in here. So you sent me slides, which I appreciate. And my wife Patty always hears me go, Cycle Cleveland, what time is it? Stanley, it's good to see you, Stanley. I hope I feel better, and the fact that you're in the chat, I think must mean you feel better. So that's great to see you, Stanley. He's Welsh. Everyone knows Welsh is the best because watching non-Welsh speakers try and pronounce Welsh towns is amazing.
I'm sure.
49 consonants smashed together for the name of the city. Okay, now I am no Hollander. I am a Limburger. Okay. It's bolus time. That's right, Cycle. Time for me to feel a little bit better even than before. But I will be able to, I was saying that I always struggle with the with the slides you send, and then I finally figure it out like at 5 minutes to book club.
Yeah, and then it's super easy, right? You just go present, and then
I really need to write it down because it is very easy, and I'm like,
yeah,
what the heck is going on? And then I go, oh, everybody's gonna say I have technical difficulties. Okay, sorry. Let's show the book cover. Doopy-doo slides. What? Wait, slides. Yeah. Okay, I pressed it. Okay.
you got to kind of go over it, and yeah, there you
go. Days of Sand by, who's it by again?
Aimé de Jong.
Very nice.
I think.
Javier is here. Hey, Javier. Oh, and then Ilan is speaking a little Welsh in the chat. I like to see that. So Days of Sand, my friend from Sweden and Aiku have been, yes.
Yeah.
My friend Aiku and my friend from Sweden, Tony, have been on me for a year to read this, and I can now see why.
The first thing that impressed me, if I can cut in, is the
please cut in.
On the art is the way she does lighting. It's so dynamic, you know. I mean, even on the cover, you could see it. It all looks three-dimensional. You know, the lighting is just crazy good.
Like those dust storms, right? That would start like bright, and then she would gradually bring it down to how.
And even on the cover, it looks like you could see forever. You could see all the way across that plane.
Yeah, I am
fabulous.
I am super impressed that not only did she write so movingly and so accurately and touchingly, but then her art is remarkable.
Yeah, just blew me away. No pun intended.
Yeah. Let's show the next one. And this is what it looked like when the dust storms happened. We can give a little history lesson before we get into the story. Back in the 20s, I think, is when, or early part of the 20th century. Wait, was that the 20th century? Yeah, I'm from the 20th century. Okay. Sorry. A bars from the 21st century, I think. Like right on the okay, blah blah blah. What happened was they did not know the proper techniques for planting wheat. Throughout the 20s, I know that they would farmers would get their plot and they would plow up the grass, which was holding the soil together, as we also learn in the book. But then they would plant wheat after wheat after wheat, and they
just kind of overdid it, right? They really just
exhausted
crazy. Yeah,
that's when we learned about exhausting the soil. And then coupled with the drought, there was like a 7-year drought.
And the animals they brought in that fed on what grass was left that held it together, that just...
Oh, right. That's a good point. They brought in animals that ate all the grass down to the nub. That's a good point. Blah, 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 blah. So all those perfect, it was like a perfect storm. Sorry for the Dust Bowl. My mom lived in Kansas. And Sasmurf has an interesting point. What struck me is this based on the Dust Bowl, which happened less than 90 years ago, so not really that long ago. It's remarkable that it's almost a century ago. But when I was born and grew up, I was born in 59, and growing up, my mom still placed the drinking glasses upside down in the shelf. They moved out of Kansas, I think, when she was little, and they relocated to Ohio. But she did catch the tail end of the Dust Bowl, and that habit stuck with her forever.
So did you have a lot of memory of this history before you read this, Jess? Because I didn't really know a lot of the details.
I knew it because of
that.
I have there are a couple things that I find really interesting in U.S. history. The Depression and the Dust Bowl are two things that I'm really interested in, and I studied really hard in high school. And then I was like a history minor in college. So I found I did know a lot about this ahead of time, and also stories that my mom would tell.
Okay.
Um,
It's
now,
really impressive how much research she did, and just exhaustive research. If you read the material in the back, you know, she goes through a lot of that.
and I want to go to her website.
Yeah.
How is it pronounced again? I'm going to be saying this about 8 times.
Aimé Dion.
Nice. I know. Stanley, what are you doing? You're better than this. That's because he lived it. Is that an age joke? What the hell
That's
is
rough.
that? Stanley. Yeah, no, don't time him out, Jake. Now, Alexander says I had never heard of this until he read that. He read that.
Yeah, I mean, I had heard of it, of course, but I didn't remember the details and how, you know, we kind of, you know, man sort of brought it on to a degree. I didn't remember any of that, you know.
Yeah, there was no sort of. They did that to themselves,
Yeah.
which is what's said to John the photographer.
Well, but the drought just compounded the, yeah.
Yeah. And it now one thing I had forgotten was how people were dying because they choked on and suffocated from all the dirt. The dust.
And it would be in their lungs, and just
I had completely forgotten that. And you're right. She went to the Library of Congress and just immersed herself in the history of the Dust Bowl in the Great Plains. There's a
and almost at all the chapter breaks, she's got some of those photos actually.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Now, had you never seen the photo Migrant Mother?
I had, but I didn't really have an association with it that it was the Dust Bowl and all that. I mean, I remember that famous photo, but I I didn't know the context, you know.
Yeah.
I probably did it one time and back in high school, probably, but
sure.
Yeah.
Now, did you put any pictures in the slides, photos?
I didn't. I thought about it, but I didn't this time.
That's fine. I'm done
Hold
with
them up.
bolus here, so I got both my hands back. Let me show this picture because it is probably one of the most famous pictures in U.S. history.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now that I said that, oh no, it's going to be in the back of the book.
Yeah,
because
toward the very end.
See everything in this photo. You can see everything that happened I get chills looking at this picture. You can see everything that people were feeling in the Dust Bowl with this one photo. And it's one of the most famous photos. Dorothea Lange took it, and it's called Migrant Mother. And I always wonder what happened to this woman, because she's actually quite young. She's like 32 in this, but you can see that the worry and the despair has just aged her, and you can see it in her face, everything those people were going through. And it's a really remarkable, I mean, this just shows the mountains of dust that blew up and would cover homes and cars, and it would cover them. So wait, let me take myself out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the Dust Bowl, and the premise of the book is they send a photographer, John Clark, who was named after his famous photographer father. And this is the only time you're gonna hear me ever get political on my channel, because I think, in my opinion, FDR, well, it's hard to put him above Abraham Lincoln, who helped save the Union, but FDR comes second, because he, through his terms, he created the Farm Security Administration, and the people there sent John Clark out to document the disastrous conditions people were living in the Dust Bowl so he could bring back the evidence and let Congress and let the American people know through photos.
Right.
Because, of course, back then we barely had telephones in the 20s. It was still that, hey, Ethel, can you ring up Bobby down there? And there was like 8 people on the line. You had
Yeah, I mean, like if that happened now, you would have CNN and all the others covering it 24/7, and everyone would know.
We'd know it immediately,
Yeah.
but people on the coasts didn't know about it. New York and California, the only way California knew about it was because all those farmers were trying to migrate there.
And they resented them for it.
And interestingly, Californians at first needed the help because there was like a Mexican Repatriation Act, which sent all the migrant farmers from Mexico back to Mexico. So at first the farmers were welcomed there as help, but then there were way too many of them. They had that Okie accent that people look down on. And the only reason I'm getting political is through, the creation of Social Security, the creation of the Work Project Association, the WPA, all the things he created using government money. But in my opinion, that's what the government's for.
Worth it. Yeah.
Supposed to help us.
Yeah.
The government's supposed to help us. That's, I forget when the IRS was created, 1907 or something in there for our tax dollars. But that's when our tax dollars actually helped people. That is all I'll ever get political.
That was the plan, at least.
Yeah, that is all I'll ever get politically. My 2 idols in my life, besides my mom and dad, are FDR and Winston Churchill. Okay, sorry. Let's see. Oh, Michael has a gabapentin question. Jess, I think I heard you say you're giving gabapentin for your pain. I was put on gabapentin for the year and a half I had to rehab my back, and it was a godsend. Really hope it helps, my friend. Thank you, Michael. As a matter of fact, I have some in my pocket. Yoink. Whoop. Yeah, I have some in my pocket. I'm allowed to take a certain amount every day, and I was off it for a while, and I was pretty miserable, and my doctor put me back on it, and I'm feeling 100% better. So thank you, Michael. I appreciate that.
Can you imagine this artist doing something set in the world of Harrow County?
Oh, wow.
How perfect would that be?
Yeah. Let's take another look at the art.
So you even hear that more of that perspective in that first panel. Look at the light and look how far you can see. It's crazy.
And you can see the Capitol in back there.
Yeah.
You're right. Her perspective's gorgeous.
Yeah. It's amazing.
You feel a real dynamic vibe here. And wait a sec. Did she do the coloring too? Did she do this all by herself?
I don't think it says, but sometimes that means she did. When there's no other credits.
I think we are witnessing greatness, the birth of greatness here. Wow.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He colored this too. How do you say her first name? Ame is now working on an adaptation of Lord of the Flies. Okay.
I've never read that, but I would read that.
Oh, I read that. Oh, in high school. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Just exists out of time. He's timeless. Thank you, Cycle. I can always count on you. Chris went to her website. Yes, Lord of the Flies. I think that I agree with Cycle Cleveland that I bet in her 20s she was a very elegant looking woman, out to help her family and make a living. And I think it just aged her, which is remarkable. Here's official Scott Stapp. Good to see you. Yeah. Oh, she lived to be 80. That's interesting. Thank you, Sazmurf. Where did you get that? Did you just Google migrant mother? You might be right, crazed cassowary.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's probably where I first seen it. I bet.
I think I think you're right. But here we show the incredible art. So not only is she a great storyteller and artist, but she's a great colorist too. Let's see this next panel.
I mean, that could be something out of Sin City right there. What do you say? I mean,
this is John back at his home in New York. He went to DC to get the job, and here he is setting out to make the cross country or half a cross country journey to the Dust Bowl from New York.
Yeah, that's just gorgeous. I'd take a print of that and frame it, you know?
Yeah. This is one of the most fascinating videos you've done, Jess. I am learning more than just why Batman is always so racist. Right. The whole New Deal is exactly what saved our country. Well, he was also a drunk, but yeah. Okay. You guys I understand if you have something about, FDR or Churchill, don't put it in the chat. We're trying. I apologize. I got us off track. Crazy Cassowary really enjoyed the art in this. Yeah, Larry and I were commenting on how compelling this art is and really pulls you into the story. Larry, I think we've all experienced this, but have you ever read a really good story where the art is so janky that it pulls you out of the story and you get really disappointed?
A lot. A lot. I mean, I could put up with, I mean, I know I'm unpopular opinion, but I can put up with bad writing more than I can bad art. That's kind of the order for me. It would have to be,
okay.
You know,
I'm not going to, that's your thing. So I don't disagree with it. Let's see. Okay. Phantom Fool. I thought it was incredible how she took what looked like real photographs at the beginning of each chapter and drew pretty much the same thing to set the chapter in motion. Good observation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that I think FDR belongs up on Mount Rushmore more than Teddy Roosevelt. 100%. Phantom Fool says she has another book, The Return of the Honey Buzzard. I bought it after I read this, but I haven't read it yet for some reason. Well, that's good news.
Yeah, I think we might have to look into those.
I read Amaz's first graphic novel, Taxi, which was pretty good. It's autobiographical. Wait, did I make a Freudian slip? What was my Freudian slip?
You said racist with Batman instead of angry.
Instead of angry, I was looking at the FBI.
You look at the next comment.
The Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious in a way. Okay, so he's leaving New York now, and he's going to cross country in the middle of the Dust Bowl to document what is happening. And this is part of his trip. And look at that old honking car he's driving.
This reminds me of Harrow County a little bit, but I actually think the art here is better than Harrow County. Yeah. But
yeah, the faces are a touch cartoony, but
a little bit, right?
But I really like that. I feel it lightens it a little bit because it's a very depressing subject. Let's see. That looks so much like the artwork for Once Upon a Time in America by Sergio Leone. Sad to say, I'm old enough to know what Encyclopedia Britannica was. Hey, I had a set of Encyclopedia Britannica. Calm down. Larry's Library. The top shot is a significant homage to Swipe from the famous shot of Once Upon a Time in America. Okay, wait. That was the previous one.
Yeah.
Is that the Add to Stream?
That one.
Top one?
That may be why it was so I had a little deja vu from that. Maybe that's why.
Okay, I have
Yeah.
never seen that, so I had never seen that. I haven't seen Once Upon a Time in America, and obviously
Right.
people are going to start jamming me up because I'm semi-illiterate because I haven't seen that movie. Problem with the book Taxi is that you got to pay attention which language it is when you order it.
Okay. Be careful.
How many stars would you give this book? How rereadable is it? Good question, Elon. How many
This
stars
is
would you give this?
this is 10 out of 10 for me.
Same.
I mean, it seems like I give those out a lot, but it's because I don't tend to buy a book that I don't like. Maybe I'm just lucky, or I'm pretty good at picking them for myself. I mean, I guess that's a good skill to have. But
well, this is our third book on book club, and you didn't give 10 out of 10 to the first book. You gave 10 out of 10, and I agreed with you on Carmen.
that's true.
And we're giving this 10 out of 10 also. And I think it's very rereadable. And especially with the supplementary option of going to her website where there's more information on it. I didn't have time to do that, but I'll have time.
Yeah, she has a YouTube channel also. I put a link to the trailer she made for this in my community tab if you want to look there on my
Okay,
channel.
that's Larry's Library. James, if you're in the chat, can you I didn't even know I made this comment.
I caught it, but I knew what you meant, so I just kind of,
I was reading the next comment while I said it. Hey, Watery, what up? Inconsistent artwork in a graphic novel or miniseries is usually a bone contention for myself, especially when it's good. It's really good, and when it's off, it's just off.
Yeah.
I think Chris has given it a 5 out of 5 stars. Yeah,
surely that's what he meant.
He is giving it 5 out of 5 stars. Yeah. Let's take a look at the 6th slide you gave me, where you can see the art and.
But even that, where you can see the faces are a little cartoony, there's still quite a bit of realism there, and the lighting is just crazy awesome, and the colors.
And she gets the emotions of each person.
Just their eyes alone. Look at them.
Right. It's really remarkably done how they lock eyes there and they feel an immediate connection.
Yeah.
And then you can see the little kid.
Yeah.
Down at the
got the bunny in his hand, in his arms.
Because you have, oh, that's right. But the bottom left, he had to wear a mask and goggles to keep, the dust out of his face. And then there are pictures of kids wearing gas masks too, because it was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a cute kid, and I'm sorry that his dad was so distrustful of the photographer, but I also don't blame his dad. They went into that.
It all makes so much sense. It's
Yeah, John was an outsider with a camera setup that they had never seen.
And he was a little overzealous at first, I think. He just kind of jumped in there and scared some of those people a little bit.
Yeah, because they didn't know what he was up to. He didn't explain at first what the purpose was.
Well, and John's really young here. He's like 21 or 22, so he's inexperienced too. And
Hey, fellas, with a slightly used copy of Callie. It's in great condition, only read once. Yeah, and I didn't mean to dismiss her talent as saying it's cartoony, but this is because I think it's very powerful art. And I think the facial expressions, especially in the woman right there in the middle left panel.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. And it's amazing that she did this whole thing herself. We'll take a look at the next page.
The cornbread. Yeah.
Oh, because they were starving. They didn't have anything to eat, and they didn't have anything to drink. And then did you send slides of when? Okay, that's the last slide. But we can talk about the family farmers whom they worked in. I'm sorry, Ami worked in the fact that how common lynchings were still in the South.
Yeah, the southern trees bear strange fruit.
Right.
Yeah, that line, very powerful.
And yes, and she showed that the black family was much happier for a time where they were, that people treated them much better, but then they were packing up to leave because they're
yeah, they would have never left, and most of these people love the area. They would have never left.
Yeah, and when you think about it, when you think about the movie or the book Grapes of Wrath, which portrayed it so well, from John Steinbeck's book, you were leaving your home. Just anything you paid for it, anything you did to it, any work you did on the land, you might have buried some of your family there as the black farmers.
They just had to cut their losses and just leave.
Yeah, and they had to pack up everything in a truck and go west. That was their only option.
It reminds me of some of the stuff that happened during Hurricane Katrina, where some of those people refused to leave their homes because it was their property and they were just, no, I'm not leaving. And cops had to come in there and force some of those people to leave.
Yeah, and when you think about it, I think maybe I can certainly understand that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to give up my property and
it's your home, right?
I mean, my home, my land.
Yeah, you don't want to give that up. Comic Slayers in the chat. Art reminds me of Nate Powell.
Yeah, it is very reminiscent of that.
Okay,
I think Nate Powell, but with better lighting.
Where would I know Nate Powell's art from? I'm not pulling his name right now.
Wow, I'm trying to think. He's done a lot of great stuff. I think. What did he do? Goon, maybe.
Sorry,
Goon. Is that Nate Powell? I could be wrong.
No, that's Eric.
That's Eric Powell.
Yeah,
right? Same last name, but he did Two Dead. I read that. I don't know if you.
Tyler Crook, who did Harrow County. So that. So now, where did I? Where have I seen Nate Powell?
Have you read Two Dead?
No.
Yeah, that's Nate Powell.
Oh, the March trilogy. Okay.
Right.
Okay. This is a good observation. I love the economy of words. She lets the scene say everything. Such a great use of the comic medium. That's a really good observation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And Chris is right. The ending is so heartbreaking. I don't see how the book could have ended with anything but heartbreak.
Yeah.
It
was a great ending, though. It's just,
yeah. I mean, I forget. Was this 1937 he went?
That sounds right. Yep.
Yeah. And they had already gone through 8 years of the Great Depression. Wall Street hadn't recovered. And
really, when you think about that and everything that happened in New York, it was kind of nothing compared to this. Right.
But even when John left New York, there were still soup lines all over the place.
Yeah, it still wasn't great, but it wasn't this,
Well, they had clothes and food and something to drink.
Right. And they could breathe. They could breathe, They
could breathe, yeah. Okay. Swallow Me Whole, Any Empire, and Come Again are by Nate Powell. Well worthwhile. Okay, I'll take a screenshot of that, and I will check those out. Thank you, Phantom Fool. Wait, I didn't hear the noise. Oh, option. Sorry. Wait, isn't it option? Wait, command.
I don't know. You're on a Mac, man. I couldn't tell you.
Oh,
I'd have to look it up.
Wait, okay, I got it. I picked a different thing. Okay. I picked a capture thing. That's
sure there's more than one way to do it. But...
Yeah, no, it's all right. I picked the capture part. Okay, good. Oh, now here's a man of taste. Thank you, Sonny. My Scottish friend. I don't have any friends in Wales, apparently. So yeah, you're right. They could breathe. They weren't dying of inhaling dust, which is remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, they had the environment itself wasn't attacking them. You know,
Right. Yeah. But we were 8 years into the Great Depression, and then where the United States basically got all its wheat from, the heartland, went into I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought because I saw Ryan's latest comment. I got to stop doing that. I mean, I'll get back to it, but I mean, that helped. And then vegetable and wheat prices dropped to where the point farmers couldn't make a living because of the Great Depression. I mean, even eggs and stuff and milk and those things got so cheap it was hard for a farmer to make a living. So
the whole Dust Bowl thing, it's almost like post-apocalyptic stories, almost, isn't it? You almost get that sense.
Yeah, you're right. They really had nowhere to go and were starving, and
Fallout 4, you know.
nobody was coming to help them. They were on their own. Oh, this is interesting, Ryan. Here's a Great Depression FDR hack that still works today. If you don't have a stamp for your letter, just write FDR where your stamp would go and your letter will get delivered. Are you sure?
I bet somebody plugged that hole by now. What do you bet?
I would think so. Here, Ryan, send me your address at this, and I will send you a letter. I know, old-fashioned. I will send you a letter, and I'm just going to write FDR up at the stamp and see what happens. We have to try that.
I bet it gets returned.
I actually don't remember this. It's possible.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but
I don't remember that fact, but it's certainly possible. Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should write you, Jake, because everybody's watching the stream while we eat. Okay, I'll be careful what I say so I don't, ruin your lunch. But so I have to hop in 3 minutes, but
yeah, I thought you did.
We both agree that this is remarkable. I think Aiku said this is up for an Eisner. This is one of the most remarkable, moving books that I've ever read. The fact that one person did it, I think that, Super Laugh Hard likes your shirt too. Last time I tried it was 10 years ago. I'll send you my address. Okay. Yeah, Larry's representing Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you both decided to talk about this book. It prompted me to get it and read it. Really good. Now I'm thinking about reading Grapes of Wrath. John Steinbeck is my favorite author. I've read everything by him. And Grapes of Wrath is remarkable. And if you want to watch an old movie with Henry Fonda in it, that does the book a great service. It was it shows exactly. I mean, that was early in Henry Fonda's career.
Yeah. Phantom Fool says still my book of the year so far, I think. Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat this one. It's definitely going to be in my top 5 for sure, if not higher. But
I agree with you.
It's still early, but
yeah,
very powerful and worth picking up, worth owning in physical. Really, I think
$23 for this gorgeous, amazing work of art. Easily, I agree with Larry. It's my book of the year. I don't see how it couldn't be. I think Ami taught or gave master classes at the comic art course in the city I live in. The comic artist friends I know who went there are friends with her.
Wow.
Well, tell your friends to tell her that Larry and I think she's brilliant, and have her watch this, and you can get a boost to your ego, and we love your work.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. For Laugh Hard focusing on your shirt.
We'll have to come up with the next book, and maybe you post something about that, because you're not going to have enough time here, are you?
I can wait another 5 minutes if people. Books of Wrath is an absolute masterpiece. Get her on here for an interview. Get on the show. That'd be remarkable if we could do that. Okay, Max, contact me and see if she wants to be on the show. Sorry.
Yeah. Maybe Max can hook us up.
Yeah, come on, man. You're
I'd be up for that.
You're practically best friends with her. You're from I think only Super Laugh Hard sent me Cromwell Stone, which I definitely want to read. Oh, this is the 4th book club. You're right, Phantom Fool. Thank you.
Yeah.
I forgot about Scurry. We love that too. Yeah, I am kind of running out of time, and I apologize for saying Batman is a racist.
Someone will clip it, probably.
Yeah, I hope they do. That I actually would not object to that becoming.
Because you said it in such a lighthearted way too.
I know. Oh, Batman's a racist. I will. Dr. Al, I read the book based on your recommendations, Jess, and it was really awesome. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you to Tony from Sweden and Aiku, who recommended it to me. Lars is again suggesting Black Sad. I have all of Black Sad. So
now, is the first book still available some way?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's a compendium of the first 3 books, and then a brand new book came out that's a 2-parter. And I got it because I couldn't wait for the inevitable deluxe of the 2 books. Thank you, brother from Mars. I actually am doing well.
I just read that.
I support Batman the racist. Is that what you're saying? Who's clipping these things?
Oh no.
Something is Killing the Children by Tiny Onion. I bet a lot of people have that. Yeah, that's a good one.
I have read that.
I'll put something in. I don't know, Larry, maybe you could send me some suggestions. People, feel free to send me suggestions for books.
We'll hash it out.
Yeah, and we'll put a poll up of books that people already own, so they don't have to go out and buy a new book. Although I think people were probably pretty happy with this, that they went out and bought this book.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a book that you've got from Organic Price Books with the code OmniDog. 5% off shipping 3 or more books together. OmniDog, ship it together. Murder Falcon. That's a good one. Why the last one?
I've read the first couple of issues of Murder Falcon, but I never got to finish it.
Ooh, that's a really good suggestion.
Yeah. But it has been reviewed a lot though. So that's the other.
Well, no,
I don't know if that matters, but
that's a good point. It has been reviewed a lot. Yeah, I know. There's another clip. Max, are you my friend or not? Do a book club for Day Tripper or Upgrade Souls so we can just cry for an hour and not mention race of superheroes. I'm getting Grapes of Wrath to watch as you speak. Nice, Stanley. Paper Girls. Something's Killing the Children. Yeah. Oh, I just got this book, Journey to the Center of the Earth by Zoe Thorogood. That's
I want to get that. I haven't got it yet.
That's a good suggestion, Cycle. That is apparently remarkable, and it's not expensive.
I don't think I did. I think I have don't I have 3 out of 4 issues or something like that? Maybe I'm wrong.
This is the wrong place for that, Lars. Sorry. I don't know how many of us in the U.S. have that. I mean, I have a ton of Judge Dredd, but I don't know how many people. Oh my gosh, I got to get off here soon.
Yeah, you're running out of time.
When the next book comes out, that's a good one we could do.
Yeah, I kind of wish. I kind of like the one and dones though. I think it's a little easier to do in this format, don't you think?
Yeah, I would second its center. I also have this book, The Impending Blindness of Billy Scott. Also laughing at you saying a lot of people have reviewed Murder Falcon and not Paper Girls, or Something is Killing the Children, or It's Lonely.
Well, I was thinking it. I just didn't say it, Kristen. I same there, you know. Yeah.
Have a lot of people reviewed It's Lonely already?
Yeah, yeah, it's been talked about a lot. I mean, I'm sure it's great. I love her art. So
Ooh, that's existential. Okay, so I'll put something up, and we can all figure out what we want to read that we all
yeah,
might already own. I'm fine with Journey to the Center of wait, what is it? Journey to the Center of the Earth? Of my Earth? Of your Earth? Where is it? It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth.
right, right.
I mean, that's fine with me. I have that, and it's not expensive to buy. Maybe we should, but I don't care if other people are reviewing it.
Okay, okay. I didn't mean that was a
I'm not
disqualifier.
saying that to you, Larry.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not saying that to you. I'm saying that to your daughter
Okay, gotcha.
who's jamming me up.
But see, she had this thing for a little while where she was like, "You guys just take things that I've already read and reviewed, and then you do." She said that about Scurry. You know, she kind of chided me about that.
Oh, it's been widely reviewed. Okay, impending blindness is multiple. Ooh, I hate it when people say would have instead of would have. Same cycle. Oh, it drives me crazy. I said it because my dad said it. You're always coming in here and causing trouble, Comic Slayer. What's going on here?
She can't help it. She gets
what
it
are
from
we doing here, Comic Slayer? So, okay, just a heads up, being in the right mindset for it. Okay. So we have to go. Thank you so much to Larry, who is a great person, great guy. I will put I forgot to put your channel, but I have a bit.ly link for your channel. I'll put it in the description. Larry's library. Thank you to everybody that joined. And if you haven't read this book, you really need to. Larry and I loved it. I appreciate all the people that participate. And peace and love, peace and love. Have a good rest of your day. Join me in 10 minutes when I have the unbelievable Omar and STD toys, and we're going to unbox toys and have fun.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Now, okay. Peace and love. Peace and love. Goodbye.